And bam, welcome back to Nando Talk. The Miami Dolphins have released their schedule for 2023. And at first look, I'm honestly loving the way it's turning out for us. We've known for a while that the opponents themselves were always going to be tough. The Finns have one of the hardest schedules in the NFL, and that's fine. So be it. I'm cool with it because they've turned out pretty favorably. The schedule itself to break down week by week, if the Dolphins take advantage of it, we could actually be making some noise. And in a way too early prediction, I've got a 12-5, 13-4 record. But we'll talk about that later in the video. What I first want to talk about is the positive signs of this schedule, the things that stick out to me that are pretty cool. We'll also be talking about the games that I'm most interested to go to at home and away. And then, of course, give my little record prediction later on in the video. I'll timestamp it up for us. Last year, I was kind of right before the bye week. I said we were going to go 7-3. We were actually 7-3. It was perfect. Then we won the Texans game, like I said, and then everything else was a crapshoot. It all went to hell, and I was wrong on the season. We ended up going 9-8. It was looking pretty fine when I went from 8-3. I thought my 12-5 prediction would be spot on, but alas, this year we'll try to do a little better from the initial reactions. But let's highlight exactly about the schedule what it is that I like. And it mainly boils down to three or four things. The first thing that I really like about this schedule is that we start off with the Chargers. It is on the road, and we're going to be tested bright and early with this schedule with road games with the Chargers, the Patriots. That Sunday night football game is actually pretty cool. And then we play the Broncos at home, Bills away. So 3 out of the 4 road games to start off the season, pretty tough. But that Chargers game gets the West Coast trip out of the way nice and early. We can plan for it, and then we won't really be beat up from it. We won't be too tired. We come back to the East Coast, play New England, then you come home, and then you never go that west again. Yes, you will have to contend with going to Germany later on in the season, but you get a bye week in week 10, which is awesome, smack in the middle. And if you are going to play the Kansas City Chiefs, you want to get that neutral field advantage if you can't get a home one. So I'll take that in Germany. They've got to travel a little farther than us, but we'll be both dealing with that burden of playing internationally. And I'm fine with that. You lose the Tyreek storyline of him going to Kansas City, but hey, the only reason the NFL is making sure that Tyreek Hill, his first game with the Chiefs, is not in Arrowhead is because they're saving that juice for the AFC Championship. That's right. The NFL wants Tyreek Hill's first game back in Kansas City. They want to save that for the AFC Championship. It'll be a little Dolphins Chiefs. So, Germany, you get a little preview of that AFC Championship game. So, you're welcome. But hey, I'm excited for all these games so far. The international game is going to be epic as well. That week 10 bye splits the season pretty smack down the middle. Very favorable for us. So thank you, Commissioner, for finally not screwing us over on that sense. And like I said, we start early on the road, but on the later stretch of the season, we have 4 of the last 5 games at home. That's awesome considering we'll be fighting for the division. And we play that week 18 game against the Bills. That could be flex for some primetime games. We'll talk about that in a second. But finishing at home, finishing strong, that's always important. But it also means we don't have to deal with cold weather games late in the season, late in December. We'll be playing in Miami. The heat will be our advantage. We play Buffalo week 4. We play Philly week 7. The Jets week 12, and then we really don't have any cold week 17 versus in Baltimore. Maybe you might get a little snow, maybe a little chill there, but for the most part, we'll be nice and warm throughout the season, which plays to Miami's strengths. We want to air out the ball. We'll get some run game going. Devon A-Chain, I'm looking at you. And of course, Mostert and Wilson coming back to vets, but for right now, I think the strength of Miami is going to be the pass game and playing some hard defense. So I'm down for some warm weather action. And let's see what this Dolphins team is made of. Honestly, at first glance, the schedule, like I said, there's a lot of favorable points, whether it's getting the West Coast trip out of the way early, whether it's staying and defending home late in the season, whether it's not having to deal with the cold weather late in the season as well. That week 10 bye is pretty nice, and having Kansas City in a neutral field could be pretty interesting for the Dolphins. There's some key points where we could really take advantage of. And we're going to have 3 primetime games. And those are going to be massive spots for the Dolphins to get some critical wins. The spotlight will be upon us, and I want the world to see how electric this offense can be and how stifling this defense can be. Look at our first shot, week 2 at Patriots, Sunday Night Football. I didn't really think the Pats had the juice to command in a Sunday Night Football game, but I guess it's a little Dolphins Pats little rivalry, especially since the Jets and the Bills get the Monday Night Football game in week one. I guess they wanted to give the Dolphins Patriots a little bit of shine as well, considering the AFC East is going to be one of the hardest battles all year. We'll see how that all shakes down. I think we're going to beat the Chargers. I'll talk about that a little later in the little schedule breakdown. But for prime time, yeah, we're going to beat the Pats. Macaroni Jones, you cannot handle this defense. Bill Belichick is going to be quivering in his boots when our offense is streaking down the field against him. My God, we're going to put the world, we're going to show the world what it's happened, and we're going to put New England down the drain. Honestly, it's going to be an awesome performance, and it almost makes me want to go to Boston and be able to watch them just suffer as the Dolphins get a nice good win, starting off early, prime time 1-0. Now, I know you're saying at this point of the video, wait, they said 3 primetime games? Don't we have like 5? Did we have like 5 nationally televised games, 3 primetime games? Because it's really only the Sunday Night Football game at New England, Sunday Night Football in Philadelphia in October, which is very cool. I wanted to go to the Philadelphia game, but it's Sunday Night Football. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. We'll see at the link. That's awesome. Then we have the Titans Monday Night Football in Miami. That's going to be epic as well. I've been to a Monday Night Football game, Giants, Dolphins, yeah, with the Odell Landry, that little bowl they had between themselves. Giants won, so I got to see a Monday Night Football loss, but I have seen a Thursday Night Football win against the Ravens and a Sunday Night Football win against the Steelers, so it's time to see a Monday Night Football win as well in Hard Rock. Let's do it against the Titans. And then technically the Chiefs game is nationally televised, and the Cowboys Christmas Eve game is also nationally televised. It should be a pretty good game as well there. Well, then I think the Ravens game on New Year's Eve is also probably nationally televised. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some prime spotlights for the Dolphins, but and then the Bills game might get flexed at the end of the season. That's why it's already a TBD. If it's for the division, that might be huge. But penciled in right now, we have 3 official primetime games. So the second one will be against the Eagles. And the Eagles, man, at the link. It's a game I wanted to go to for a long time. Mr. Harrison Blanco, if you're watching this video, I definitely wanted to visit you, bud. Sunday night puts a little rain on my parade, but I still think it's very doable. Um, whether we win or not, it's going to be very tough to see again. We'll be doing a record prediction a little bit later on. This is more just my general feeling. I get a little queasy at the thought of playing the ravenous Eagles in Sunday Night Football. That's a little fear talk in me. I'm hoping to get that out of my system once I see this Dolphins team more in action. But I need to see us prove it very early for me to be confident about this game. And who knows, if we're looking pretty good, I might be going to this game. So I'd love to be getting into some footage for you guys, Fernando Talk, and showing you that the Eagles fans they're not that bad, man. I'm more worried about the team than I am the fans. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully we get a nice showing there. And then the last true primetime game would be the Monday Night Football game in Miami. Like I said, I want to win for that because I've seen a Thursday Night Football win for the Dolphins, a Sunday Night Football win for the Dolphins at home, but I have not seen a Monday Night Football win against the Titans. Very doable. Tannehill, welcome home, bud. But unfortunately, we'll be giving you Das Boot. We'll be kicking you around the field, even though Tanny, you're up there on the wall. It's okay, bud. There is even the chance that we see a little Will Levis action if Tannehill doesn't perform up to the standards this season, or if Tennessee just opts to go a different route. I do think that is the most winnable primetime game of the 3, and I think New England's very winnable. But this is at home against an inferior Titans team, and I say inferior now. Again, I'm going to say this a lot during the schedule prediction. We don't know what a lot of these teams are going to look like until we see training camp, until we see actual preseason, and until we see actual games. It's May right now. But for now, I'm not really afraid of the Titans. Chiefs game, neutral territory. It's in Germany. It's going to be epic. I am on the wait list for that. If I get selected, that's God telling me I've got to go to the game. So I will be there, and that'll be also awesome to film and get a little footage for you guys. Practice my German. Love me some good beer. You know me, Nando. I'm a big beer guy. So Germany would be an awesome experience. I've only been to Munich once. I say only, but I would love to go again, and let's do it. Winning, obviously, I think we'd have the best chance at home. At Arrowhead's a whole different story, but a neutral site is nice. Not a lot of pressure for the Dolphins. The Chiefs will be traveling a little bit farther than us, even though we'll have quite a ways to travel as well. I think that's more of a toss up, honestly. I genuinely think that's a toss up game. The Chiefs will probably win because they are Kansas City. They do have Mahomes. Anytime you have Patrick Mahomes, you always have an advantage, but it could be closer than people think. So I'm very excited for that game. It's 9:30 a.m. Let's kick that off, man. And then Cowboys Christmas Eve. I'm going to be going to that game. Some people might be selling their tickets. I know some of my buddies are. It is a big family day. It's going to be important. I already told my mom, she was flipping out, but it's all good, man. I got to go to the Dolphins game. I cannot miss any of the 9 games at home. I'm trying to go some away games as well. But I think now we've talked about the primetime games. Let me know what you guys think about them. I'm very optimistic. I think we can do pretty well for them. I think the toughest one is obviously against the Eagles. But hey, if we're looking hot, Tua against his former backup, Mr. Jalen Hurts, hey, when we played them at training camp last year, they seemed pretty beatable. Let's do it. And if I'm talking crazy like this, I think it's time to do a little tinfoil hat talk, man. I think it's time to talk more about this little schedule breakdown itself. Now, I know it's a little too early to talk about record predictions. This is going to be my first official one. It is May. We have not seen much of these teams. We don't know how they're going to gel with all the personnel changes, the coaching changes, new rookies coming in. I need to see training camp. I need to see them in person. I'll be going to all the camps this year as well. And of course, I need to see preseason and actual game action, which is why I want to go to the Chargers game. I want to see this Dolphins team as soon as possible in real action with my own eyes. It's one of the best parts about having season tickets for the last 3 years. Is I've got to see this team grow with my own eyes. But that aside, tinfoil hats on. Let's get a little bit of a record prediction. What do I think? And I'll try to do week by week. I won't get too deep into it, mainly because we don't really know much about these teams. But I'll try to give a general overview, and who knows, maybe we'll have some nice little clippies on of this. So week 1, we go to Los Angeles to the Chargers. I'm going to be trying to go to that game as well because it would just be pretty fun to see the little Tua versus Herbert. They are 1-1 against each other. And I think Tua is going to go 2-1 right now. We have the better defense. I think we're going to have the better offense. It really comes down to a question of QBs, and I trust Tua more than I trust Herbert. That's just me. I got the Tua jersey back there, but I'm going to trust my quarterback over another team's quarterback any day of the week. It's year 4 for Mr. Tua, year 4 for Herbert as well. But the weapons we've got, the confidence that has been building, it's all leading up to this big shining moment. The media will be talking of a storm, slobbering on Herbert all freaking week long. So weeks long leading up to this, that. So we'll know McDaniel will get the boys there to Los Angeles early, have them nice and transitioning, and then with nothing to fear, no worries, no pressure, no jet lag, nothing. We'll go week 1, kick it off with a nice, easy W in Los Angeles and beat them. I'm checking out tickets for that game. It's $200 for plane tickets. I think it's like 60, $70 if I'm trying to sit in section 500. I might sit in section 400, maybe in 300. I was looking at tickets for $200 to 250. It's a little bit more pricey. It's really going to depend where my buddies want to sit. I'm totally fine with section 500. I'm there just to scream and cheer, honestly. So, hey, we'll get the dub. We'll get the W. We'll kick that off 1-0. Like I was talking about in the primetime predictions as well. I think against the Patriots, that's an easy 2-0 right there. I don't think that the Patriots have the juice to even belong in the Sunday night football game. I think we're just getting tossed this because the Bills, Jets kicked things off week 1 Monday night football. So they said, hey, let's spotlight the AFC East as well and let the Patriots Dolphins do it. But all you're spotlighting is the Dolphins absolutely kicking the Patriots up and down the curb. We're going to be smacking them into the ground, and it's not going to be too pretty. I think the Dolphins are going to lay the hurt on them. We have the much better defense, much better offense. Macaroni Jones is going to get clobbered, and I'm excited to see Bill Belichick and just read him and weep, man. So let's do it. Let's start 2-0, and then we come at home. 3-0 is in our sights. Sean Payton, big sorry, man. You came out of retirement just to get smacked week 3 by the Miami Dolphins. Vic Fangio's got a bone to pick with Broncos firing him. So the defense is going to play the lights out. Bradley Chubb is going to play phenomenal as well against his former team. And I'm excited to watch us at home finally kick things off. The Hard Rock is going to be a rocking. And that's what we see with the Miami Dolphins. Take it 3-0. It'll be a close game. I do not like Russell Wilson. That is a known fact about Nando. I've not liked this man ever since he threw an interception on the goal line and literally gave the Patriots a free Super Bowl and changed the course of NFL history forever. That's a video for another time in my NFL series. But that being said, Russ, I was overjoyed when he was finally washed up last season and made the Broncos look pretty bad, honestly. So for him to be coming at home, that's an important game for Nando to be screaming and telling Russ how overrated he is. Well, I'll be in there in section 138, kicking it off in my new seats, and I'll be welcomed with a free win again. Russ, I've been talking to my season ticket buddies, Nathan, Tommy. I made these boys watch 20-minute highlight tapes of Russell Wilson just to prove to them that Russ is bad. It's an ongoing debate for years, and I'll finally be vindicated and show it in the flesh as we go 3-0 and beat Mr. Russ. Now, we go to Buffalo. And this is where things get a little bit more realistic, more gloomy for the Dolphins. We're going to be facing our first loss of the season, 3-1. I don't like it any better than you guys do, man. I think we're going to be very close. The Bills are going to be a little neener in our faces due to this, but I think we'll be playing them freaking disgustingly close. An early contention for game of the year right here, battling back and forth. I'm going to break it now 38-35. The Bills will unfortunately win with the field goal at the end, and I'm going to be disgusting. I know what you're saying. I think we actually have the juice to even win this game. I think we're going to be 3-1 at the end of this stretch. I'd love for us to beat Buffalo bright and early at home, at their own home, and really stick it to them. I just don't think it's going to happen, though. If it is, though, it's because we lose a game a little earlier in this 4-week stretch, and we've got to prove it to the NFL world that, hey, we're 3-1, we're the real deal. Because afterwards, it's a cakewalk, man, for the next 2 weeks. At home against the Giants, Danny Dimes, you do not scare me in the slightest. We are a better team than the Giants. As of now, again, that things could change over the course of this offseason, or the preseason, I guess you could say. But hey, we're still good right now. I think that the Dolphins are much better than the Giants and much better than the Panthers as well. Remember, they're a bottom team right now. Unless Bryce Young starts ripping it off and starts tearing it up from day one, I do think we're going to be beating the Panthers in this spot over here. And we'll be looking at a nice little 3-1, 5-1, okay, heading into Philadelphia. And I want to say this is a win. I want to beat Philly. Again, I think this is going to be a close Sunday night football game where the Dolphins, we alas just aren't able to pull it out. I think though that we are in for an upset between week 7 and 9. I think that we'll either win the Eagles game or we'll win the Chiefs game. That's just Nando. Realistically, we should probably lose both of those until further notice. I should peg those as L's. Because right now we are at 5-1. With the Pats, I think we'll be 6-1. Yes, we're going to sweep the Patriots, okay? So let's lose to the Eagles, okay? 6-2. All right. And then we've got the Chiefs in Germany. We'll surprise them. We're going to win in Germany. Das is good, okay? I'm going to be selected for this game, and it's to be a sign from God that I was meant to go to this game and watch this historic win. And we'll be going into the bye nice, cruising and pretty at 7-2. Only losses to the Bills and to the Eagles away. We're going to steal one against the Chiefs because it's that neutral field. And the bye week 10 will be nice and rested, very refreshed. All righty. We started off at home again against the Raiders, the McDaniels versus McDaniel Bowl. Garoppolo, his old coach, and McDaniel is going to absolutely tear this man apart, okay? You're going to he's going to whisper in Fangio's ears all the little weaknesses that Jimmy G has, and it's not going to be pretty. We're going to beat the LA Raiders. I'm going to love that. We're going to be 7-2. We'll be 8-2. And this is where it gets a little ugly. I want to say we're going to sweep the Jets both times, so we are. I was going to say we should go 1-1 against the Jets. No, I've got the tinfoil hat on. I've got the power, and this is my video. Okay, so we are currently 7-2, 8-2, and the Dolphins go 9-2. We beat the Jets on Black Friday, a gloomy day for the New York Jets, the New Jersey Paper Planes. You can cry. I love your tears. Then we go to Washington to play the Commanders, and Sam Howell, love you as a player, as a man, and as a football dude. You're cool and all, but you're going to get clobbered, man. You just don't have the guts. You don't have the juice for it. And we are going to keep this train a rolling. 9-2 turns into 10-2. And then we play the Titans, Monday Night Football. Talked about it in the preseason, in the primetime predictions. That's an easy win for us. Whether it's Tannehill, whether it's Will Levis, we're looking at 11-2. And my God, I'm getting so carried away with this because then we play the Jets and bang, at home, we're going to win 12-2. Sorry, not sorry. We sweep the Jets. We sweep the Patriots. We're going to split with the Bills. You'll see that in a second. 12-2. Cowboys, bang. We win 13-2. Oh my God. I actually think we can win against the Ravens, but we've beaten the last 2 years in a row. Lamar Jackson is feeling it there. There's going to be that tension. I think we are going to lose this game. It's going to be 13-3. And there's going to be the talk of, haha, we should have kept Lamar. And I'm just going to be like, scoreboard, we're 13-3. The Ravens are freaking 9-7 right now. Who cares? Okay. We're beautiful right now. This team is humming. And we're going to close out the season. They're going to flex this game into prime time. And we're going to see the Dolphins versus the Bills at home for the division. And we're going to win our AFC East title. It's going to be oh so sweet and head into the playoffs, feeling up pretty, beating Buffalo, locking up a 2 or a 3 seed. And I love this world that I've just created, this fairy tale 13-4 I fabricated. I could lie to myself and probably bring myself down to 12-5, but I refuse to go any lower than 12-5. I think the Dolphins are poised to make some noise. This is a great schedule breakdown for us. And as we get some more clarity, as we get some more knowledge and some more insight, I'll do a better prediction. I got in a lot more depth than I meant to for this video, but hey, hopefully it makes the cut on the editing. And if it does, will be beautiful. If not, I might split this. But all in all, I think it's been a fine schedule. 13-4, maybe 12-5. My buddies in the section 138, they've got us at a more realistic, at a little 11-5, maybe a little 10-7, 11-6, 10-7. But for sure, an improvement from last year. That has to be the case. We have to make the playoffs. We have to improve on the record. And improving on the record with harder opponents, no backup QBs, not really rookie QBs, except for Bryce freaking Young, the number 1 overall pick. Yeah, it's going to be a tougher schedule for sure as of now. Things can change for better or worse. I'm very confident, though, right now in how the Dolphins are looking. The schedule we've been presented is pretty favorable. We can take advantage of it if we're smart. Get the West Coast trip out of the way early. Don't have the cold weather games late in December and January. Have the week 10 bye, perfectly segmenting, getting the little neutral site advantage against the Chiefs. And I do say advantage because whether it's neutral for us, home for us, that's pluses for us. So, hey, we ride. I'm down for the way the Dolphins are cooking up right now. Fangio, McDaniel, I trust in you to mold these men and make sure they're ready for this tough season to come. So let's get this going, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys thought of the schedule as well. What you thought about some of the predictions. What you thought about the primetime predictions, the spots that the Dolphins are in, and if I'm just an idiot or not. So let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, share this to other Dolphins fans so they can get a little sense and get pumped up. The tinfoil hat's always a fun time to get us all riled up. And subscribe if you want to. We're almost at 900 subs. The road to 1,000 is almost there. Let's get it cooking for the season, guys. It'll definitely get me motivated to go to the Chargers game, to the Eagles game, to Germany. If I get more subs, I'll be bringing better content. So that's always very appreciated. But that's my little spiel for it. Thank you guys for enjoying this video. Comment below what you guys thought. And as always, fins up, a chins up. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.